Bro, what is up, YouTube? So I just reacted to the Fires video. It's got me so pumped right now, and I was gonna end it like that, but I'm just too excited, man. I'm so lit. I don't think I'm up. I'm not. It's not gonna pop up after this video because that video was too lit. But I'm definitely gonna react. I'm gonna upload this. It'll probably go up tomorrow, first thing in the morning. But I want to get some more content out, man, because I got so much energy from it.
Mystery angles have been part of professional
Follow my
wrestling
social media, though. And subscribe.
Really work if you actually bother to follow through with them and make the reveal. And since
10 WWE
are reliant on their ideas,
10 WWE questions that remain unanswered. We're gonna see.
Is being received well by the audience. It's not unheard of for a storyline to be dropped before it ever reaches its climax. I'm Ben from What Culture, and here are 10 WWE
Bro, what happened to old dude, Adam?
remain unanswered. Number 10. What's the deal with Kane's face? We never have got a satisfying explanation about Kane's face, and specifically why he doesn't carry any scars from the fire that supposedly left his family dead and made him a bit upset. The most convincing theory is that Kane's scars are in fact only psychological, and that he wore the mask because he was cruelly tricked into believing he was hideously unattractive by Paul Bearer, the man who helped orchestrate his revenge plot on Taker. Makes sense, except for the fact that everyone, from the commentators to Rob Van Dam, seemed absolutely horrified when he first unmasked in June 2003, despite his face being quite normal, save for a smudge of dirt and a dodgy contact lens. Number 9. Why did Eric Bischoff and Stephanie McMahon kiss?
They kissed?
In late 2002, respective Raw
Hold on,
and
I'm gonna fix
SmackDown
that.
general managers Eric Bischoff and Stephanie McMahon were embroiled in a bitter brand war.
That look
competing
better?
to sign
The
WWE's
camera look good?
best free agents and one up each other in the weekly TV
Subscribe.
ratings. It wasn't exactly the Monday Night Wars, but it was entertaining enough. That is, until it got really weird on Halloween when Eric Bischoff, for some reason, donned a Vince McMahon mask and forced himself onto the chairman's daughter with a kiss, who began reciprocating his advances after an initial struggle. Great. Since the incident was never brought up again, we never really found out exactly why it happened, but do you really, truly want an answer? Number 8. Where did Carly go?
On
You
God!
have to be careful including such a recent example, because there's a distinct possibility that this is simply a slow-burning storyline that will culminate in the months ahead, but that's not likely given that Carly's superstar profile, after initially being added to WWE.com following Battleground, has subsequently been removed. Personally, I think he's been endlessly wandering around the Wells Fargo Center since they last visited while he was signed, and just accidentally happened to stumble through Gorilla when they came back. Whatever the truth is, I don't think many people are saddened by his absence. Number 7. What happened to Haid Vanson?
Who's
Many
that?
upstart, gimmick-heavy wrestlers come and go after just a couple of weeks, but that can perhaps be explained by a harrowing experience inside the ring and the sudden realization that, oh bollocks, this is hard. But what about Haid Vanson, whose one appearance on SmackDown featured him standing in a dark room, staring down the barrel of the camera and promising that the prophecy shall be realized? Perhaps he had a change of heart, and this is a distant possibility, perhaps the company went cold on the idea of having another dark vigilante on Friday nights. Number 6. Why did the Nexus help Kane bury Undertaker? Between trying to take over Monday Night Raw and help leader Wade Barrett become an unlikely WWE champion, the Nexus somehow found the time to help Kane settle a long-running score with his brother. What nice guys. The Undertaker, for the umpteenth time, was buried alive, and in subsequent promos the Nexus kept their motives close to their chest. Barrett hinted that things would soon become clear, but the angle was then dropped, and we never got a decent explanation outside of the fact that the rookies simply hated anything and anyone, Justin Roberts for instance, with even a passing connection to the WWE status quo. Number 5. What happened to Hiro Hoto? The little-known story of Hiro Hoto is one of a man who was hell-bent on avenging sinners for all of about 5 minutes, before saying nah and never appearing again. Actually, Hiro Hoto didn't even appear once. All we got was a solitary Monday Night Raw promo in 2004, replete with grainy World War II footage in which it was stated that he would be returning shortly to exact revenge for the events of 60 years prior. WWE apparently realized that this near-the-knuckle gimmick might be cause for offense and stopped it dead in its tracks. Kenzo Suzuki, who was originally supposed to depict Hiro Hoto, instead debuted on SmackDown later in the year without any of the war references. Number 4. Why does the referee shirt turn wrestlers into civilians? You can just about suspend your disbelief long enough to believe that official WWE referees, many of them meek-looking dad types, are rendered unconscious for up to 5 minutes minutes after taking a clothesline. But there have also been instances of special guest referees who are essentially just wrestlers wearing a stripy top, being knocked out by shots of a caliber they would have taken literally dozens of times in a match that they were competing in. The only explanation that makes even a modicum of sense is that by being caught unawares, the wrestler in question isn't prepared to absorb the damage. Alternatively, the officiating uniform has special powers, turning anyone who wears it into a slice of wet bread. Number 3. Who blew up Vince McMahon's limo? After
Oh,
the real-life death of Chris Benoit,
rest in
WWE
peace.
decided that to
To
keep
his
up the
family.
pretense of Vince McMahon's kayfabe death would be in bad taste. They dropped the storyline immediately, with the chairman of the board appearing out of character to remember and then forget the legacy of the former employee on episodes of Raw and ECW. That was fair enough, except that they then tied up the loose ends by revealing that Vince had faked his own death in order to find out how much the fans and his family really loved him. I mean, that wouldn't be entirely out of character for Vince, but we'll probably never find out what the original plan was. Odds are it involved Hornswoggle. Number 2. Who left Booker T that note? WWE have never really known what to do with Booker T, who spent the early part of his time after jumping ship from WCW aimlessly bouncing around the mid-card, frequently oscillating between face and heel, until he finally got his big break when he started wearing a crown in 2006. But perhaps one of the high points was his short-lived alliance with Goldust, who helped the 5-time WCW champion find his place after the dust settled, wahey, on the invasion angle. And we think it was Goldust who delivered Booker a cryptic note reading "I still remember" on an episode of Raw in November 2003. Think because we never got an explanation, and Cody's brother didn't actually return for a further 5 years, by which time his tag team partner had himself departed. Not died. Obviously, he's still alive. Number 1. Who raised the briefcase at King of the Ring 1999? At the height of the
Hold
Stone
up.
Cold Vince
Sorry, I just wanted to know.
McMahon feud in
And Warriors
1999,
music in the
Texas
background.
Rattlesnake was
If
given
you're
the
watching this, I
opportunity
know
to
you know what I'm
control
talking
the
about.
entire World Wrestling Federation in a match at King of the Ring. To get it, all he had to do was beat up Vince and Shane, 2 non-wrestlers, then climb the ladder and retrieve a briefcase hanging from the rafters. But when Austin went to collect his prize, the briefcase was mysteriously pulled ever so slightly out of his reach. According to online theories, the man who helped Vince get his big win was Big Boss Man, and to be fair, that would have made perfect sense since he was fired from the corporation earlier in the month and therefore able to interfere in the match. It remains an unanswered question though, for the simple fact that WWE forgot to officially make the reveal on TV. Oh dear.
Yeah, man, that's gonna do it for that video, man. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave it a like. If you have anything you want to react to, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, man. It helps your boy out. Know that people is appreciating what he's doing, man. I would say the likes help, but I want subscribers too, man. I only got 20 subs, but that's a lot. But I want more. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. That's gonna do it for this video, man. Follow my social media, man. I'm out.